and our YouTube live, and with the Love 101 Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Family time is about your issues and your relationships, your at-home family, your community family, and your global family. Family Time is produced by Family Life Ministries, and our aim is to enable healthy families which lead to healthy nations. Stay with us and listen in, and please join in. My name is Charles Hyatt. In Jamaica, it's a belief that we have a daddy problem, that our fathers are absent, considered mere sperm donors, and all sorts of negative stereotypes hang over their heads. While we don't deny any of this, we believe that it's not really as bad as it is. And I think that there are many, many, many men out there not playing a game, but fathering to the best of their ability. Many want to be fathers to their children, but for various reasons, they just aren't. But today, we acknowledge and celebrate those that are fathering voluntarily. Fathering is our topic today. To share their stories and tell us how they do it, we have Simon Azan, a single father, and Carlos Gray, a distant father, as he fathers from abroad. But before we ask them, here's what we want you to do. Tell us, as a father, what do you want or do you do most for your children? WhatsApp your text or voice notes, and make sure the voice notes are no longer than 30 seconds, to 876-997-3125. Or you can post on the Love 101 Facebook page or call the studio lines at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328 to participate. And throughout the program, we'll share as you share. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Here's why you can't afford to miss the Morning Watch.
I love listening to the Morning Watch because topics are discussed and issues are highlighted that are of major importance, which in turn edify me.
The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I like listening to the Morning Watch. I find it very informative. I find it very interesting. The topics that are covered are very, very wide.
The Morning Watch, thought-provoking, insightful, current. Listen for the probing questions with Attorney at Law Stokely Marshall and the in-depth discussion with Reverend Dr. Dallin Toussaint. The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The Morning Watch is on the family station Love 101.
Life comes at you fast and it can hit hard. Apply for the Credit Union Prepaid MasterCard from C&WJ with chip and PIN protection. Need a card with a personal line of credit for emergencies? We have that. Need a card you can use to shop online for that must-have item? We have that. The community and workers of Jamaica Prepaid MasterCard. All the convenience of a MasterCard. Discover the benefits of belonging.
The world has changed drastically. Are you ready to face it? The University of the West Indies, the Caribbean's #1 university, can get you ready. Because while everyone else is trying to adapt, we are ready to prepare you for what lies ahead. So secure your future by investing in yourself and make your dreams the next big thing with a degree from the UWI Mona. Apply today at mona.uwi.edu.
Welcome back to Family Time on Love 101. Our topic today is fathering. A 2014 study stated that more than a third of Jamaica's children have no father figure, and over 90% of households have the parenting role being performed by the birth mother or a grandmother. Not sure how much this is even current these days, after 10 years or so later. But I suspect it wouldn't be changing by that much. What I'd like to believe, though, is that there are more and more men that are taking the matter and being involved in as fathers more seriously, and that our children are benefiting from their fathers being in the house. or in their lives. In that vein, tell us, as a father, what do you want to do? Or most of all, what do you want most for your children? WhatsApp your text or voice notes. Make sure that's no longer than 30 seconds to 876-997-3125, or post on our Love 101 Facebook page, or call the studio at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328 to participate. And throughout the program, we'll share your thoughts and your feelings. And just stay tuned, because this evening we have Simon Azan, a single father, and Carlos Gray, a distant father. He mostly fathers in spirit. Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Doing excellent. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Charles.
Yeah, man. No problem.
Good evening. Wonderful.
Greetings. All right. So, fathers, before I ask about your personal stories as a father, what do you want to do or be most for your children? Tell me, Carlos.
Charles, you want to take on that, Carlos?
Yes. Well, at first, there's a lot of stuff I could have say right now, but in a time like this, the most I want for my kids them is safety, for them to be safe. And once they are safe in a climate like this, we can iron out anything else down the road. And then another thing I want for my kids then is education. I want them to have good education, so they don't have to come up and face a rough life like their father. You know what I'm saying? Normally, with an education, you can show your documents and this is what I'm gonna do. But without an education, you have to do whatever you have to do. So I would like my kids to have education, and I wanted to have trust in me. I never lose that faith. Even as a distant father, there's a lot of things can slip through your finger, and the kids might lose the trust in daddy and what daddy's saying and stuff like that. That closeness, that bond. I wanted to keep that. But most of all is safety and everything else. As long as they're alive, we can work out everything else.
All right, so Carlos, send me some. Well, actually, let me ask Simon. Tell me some major challenges that you're having, Simon, as fathering.
And Carlos mentioned about the environment and the safety. One of the things that as a father with children that are either teens, preteens, early adulthood is keeping relevant with everything that is going on around them. Things and times definitely have changed from I was a youth. And if you don't keep relevant, then you can miss sometimes some opportunities to relate to them, because the music different, the vibe is different, how they handle themselves is different. And you have to try and approach fathering right now with an open mind, that you can accept some of the little things that probably would not have been accepted from our parents back in the day. But now you kind of have to balance that a little. There's a little give and take. Of course, the principles, and I try to raise my children with as many Christian principles as possible. But the principles kind of don't change. It's like you have your eye on the direction that you want to go, but you have to be prepared to go around some storms here and there on the water. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Now, the thing that I wanted to talk about, wanted to touch on right now is the fact that we hear in our society that nurturing is a woman thing. Now, I beat that down. I completely killed that. I don't believe that, but that is me. I want to hear from you, Carlos. How are you approaching that statement as far as nurturing is a woman thing? Hold on a second, Carlos. I think your mic is muted. Okay, go on. No, talk now.
All right. I think that that is an old time cultural folklore kind of thing. Like there's certain job for the woman and there's certain job for the man. But in a day like an age like this, that is debunked as we can look what is going on around us right now. There's no special role for the dad and special role for the mom unless you are giving birth to a child. Yeah, that's it. So those words are debunked. Unless you know, think about it. Back in the days, a woman supposed to stay in the house and cook the food, and the man supposed to go around go plant the food. Just from Africa, where it came from, the men supposed to go hunt the coyote or the rabbit, bring it back to the village, and bring it to the woman, and the woman take care of that. So we always have certain things in our head, like the man is supposed to do certain things that we're not. Now, as a father, I hug my kids. You know, I still kiss them on the cheek. I tell them that I love them. These are stuff that I would instill in any father out there. Don't believe you're too rough or you're too much or you're too coarse. You can't tell your kids that you love them. You understand? Nurturing. Even the baby mama, your wife, you have to tell her that sometimes you have to, when you're wrong, you're wrong. It's not always easy for a woman to look you right in the eye and tell her the truth as a man. It squeeze your ego. Your ego get bruised. So sometimes we men come off a certain way. Sometimes we have to cool and be a little softer sometimes, a little softer side, like me and my brother was talking the other day. He's saying what? We may need to take it some page out of the woman book. We have too much ego. That's why we always start wars. So we must be a nurturer also. That's the role of a dad. Nurture your kids, man. Love them.
So tell me, Carlos, I want you to continue on that and tell me the differences between boys and girls now as far as their needs and those type of things. Now, how do you father a boy different from a girl?
Father and boy different from...
Okay.
Go ahead, bro.
No,
All
I was
right.
asking if you
So,
wanted to hear from you.
All right. Simon, do you have boys and girls?
Yes, but more girls than boys.
All right. So what's the difference there?
Apart from the physical differences,
no, man. I mean,
to me, I don't know how Carlos things stay in terms of girls versus boys, but I find the girls easier to raise than the boy. I have one boy.
That's true.
Carlos, you know, back in the day, he was here said, God give bad man girl picnic. But I find that raising the girls, to me, girls are more compliant, less adventurous, more steady. I think when you're dealing with some of the boys tend to be more adventurous, more prone to getting themselves into a little trouble, more hot-headed, you know, less temperate in terms of the personality type. So it makes it easier. You know, I'm raising three girls. Well, one of the girls is already married, lives abroad, and I have a young adult girl and a preteen girl that lives in the house with me. And to me, they are a lot easier to raise than the boy who is actually 19 this next month.
Okay. All right. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion on this topic. But don't forget to tell us, as a father, what do you want to do or be most for your children? WhatsApp or text your voice notes to make sure your voice notes are no longer than 30 seconds to 876-997-3125 or post on our Love 101 Facebook page or call the studio lines at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328 to participate. Also, I'm encouraging you to friend us on Facebook at FLM Family Life Ministries and follow us on Instagram at FLMJA and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Family Life Ministries FLMJA. The numbers for the FLM head office are 876-920-1034 or 876-926-8101. We'll be right back.
Let's put it out there. Over 70% of violence against women is because of money. The second problem is because of jacket. How have we, the people, the society, contributed, fostered, and or encouraged violence against women? It is said that our men are 5 times more idiots than they are wicked. Is it true? If so, what is causing that? Love 101 FM's town hall meeting on violence against women, the psyche of the people, will look at these issues and seek solutions. Tuesday, April 27 at 7:30 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101.
Bring the family back, bring it back together. Bring the family back.
All right, welcome back to Family Time. Our guests today are Simon Azan and Carlos Gray. Our discussion topic is fathering, and our question to all our listeners and viewers is this. As a father, what do you want to do or be most for your children? WhatsApp your text or voice notes to 876-997-3125, or you can post on our Love 101 Facebook page or call the studio lines at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328 to participate. Throughout the program, we'll share what you share. Also, join us on our Facebook and YouTube Live via Love 101 Facebook page and Love 101 YouTube channel. Now, as a father, what I want the most from my boys is just like what you all said: safety, education, and I want them to understand the importance that they are respected because they respect people. Treat people good because they are people. And that should get them through, because we all know there's a system out there and we must pay attention to the system and how the system needs to work. Even though you go against the grain, you still have to pay attention to what the system wants. So I want to talk to Simon now. I want to hear your story. How do you father really? I know we talked about it a little bit, but you talked about instilling Christian values to your children. How exactly do you do that?
Well, first of all, you can people will respect more what you do than what you say. So I try and live my life in such a way that it becomes an example for them to follow. Carlos mentioned about being man enough to apologize when certain things when you're confronted and your ego is confronted. I make mistakes with my children all the time. The wrong thing may come out of my mouth, wrong action may be exemplified, and I have to swallow my pride, go to them, show them that you're not big enough, you're not too big to apologize for action, you're not too big to apologize for a harsh word which may have been said. So I think one of the most important things is to live the life that you would like for your children to exemplify. I found it very rewarding on several occasions speaking with my girl children that they, and this is no means bigging up myself, but when your girl children will come to you and say they want to have husbands just like you, I think it speaks volumes to you may have gotten something right along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
just a little bit.
Just a little bit, and I guess that could be a myriad of things that could have led to those statements: the way they're treated, the respect they're shown, the example that I've led for, hopefully a husband of theirs to follow one day. So, I found it very rewarding trying to live the Christian principles as much as possible to be an example to them.
So as far as you're saying now, you live it and represent it rather than regurgitate it and give them scripture to read and say this is what you should follow. You actually implement that in your actions.
I think it's the biggest testimony or the biggest what you would call the biggest advantage that you could ever create for yourself is being able to live it. so that at the end of the day, you're not labeled as a hypocrite and things like that, which could possibly one of the worst things that could happen to you as a father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True. So, Carlos, give me your feedback on that. Instilling Christian principles.
Yeah, you see, this brother right here, Mr. Hassan, this is what the youth them need to hear. That's why a program like this is very, especially a topic like this is very important for the younger to hear, because these kind of principle, this type of education is good for the young. When I was growing up, I didn't have a man like Mr. Hassan to look up to. I grew up. I'm a street guy, right? I grew up on the street, right? At the street, front page. A lot of us, like so many other Jamaican guys. We're young. You grow up. You have a group. You got dance. All these things. I grew up and around me in my community. I watch a lot of men who have their wives and very influential men in the community cheating on their wives with all kind of people in the neighborhood. So that was my example back then. Most households, they don't really talk to the kids about sex and money in Jamaica. My father don't, even though I learned a lot of good things from my father, but one of that was not in the ingredient. So when as a youngster, you're looking around you and all you can see everybody doing the same thing, and everybody like old dog like me and gal in a bungle, and like it's the thing to do, spot yourself on the show. They have a run around a bunch of girls around here. That's the wrong thing. That's the wrong idea. So that right there, that's why men like me and so many others have several different baby mama. I didn't see nothing better around as I was growing up. So this right here, if most of the men them who I look up to back then was doing a cause like what Mr. Azan, I'm listening to him. I'm talk about in faith and in walk that even kids want to be him. Look, honestly, my son, them cannot be me. I tell them they cannot be like how that is. I know where the pitfalls are, and I honestly tell my kids. I openly tell my kids that my sons cannot be like me. They are different right now. They are totally different from how I was. They think differently because I am here to tell them wrong is wrong and right is right. There's a hole over there. Walk on the right side. So we all have to set the example, and but it's just you see the culture that we have to break. There are some things we as Jamaicans and not even black people in general have to learn, and some things we have to unlearn. Real deep stuff, cultural stuff. We have to learn and we have to unlearn. When we listen to the songs and we look around us, we see police, teacher, businessman, everybody doing it. What kind of example is there for I to follow? I want to do it too.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Quickly, gentlemen, I'm going to ask Simon to go first. As far as the extended family is concerned and the relationship with the children's mother, how do you play in that relationship?
Well, first of all, I believe that regardless of what the situation is and why one would be, either divorced or separated or, in a single type of environment raising your children, the children's mother or the children's father, if the role is reversed, I only speak to the mother now because I'm the father. There must be some boundaries set in terms of respect, right? I have to, in the same way that the mother is supposed to demand respect for me, I have to demand that the children respect their mother as well, right? Our life and how it played out to cause us to be in this single atmosphere is not their fault, nor is it their concern. There is still room for both single parents to play a respectful role and an exemplary role in the children's life without tearing each other down. Life too short for them sort of things. And, if you start down the road where you're constantly tearing down your ex-partner, then all it will do is it will set a very poor example for the children, and it will continue a cycle of disrespect in the children's life. It will play out later on in their life as well.
Interesting. What about you, Carlos? Tell me.
Yep.
Tell me your feedback.
That is very Well, my feedback on that is I've lived it. I've lived it. Like I said, I've dropped in many holes, and I've been hurt. So I try not to fall in them holes anymore. And I can teach any young youth now who coming up. And oftentimes on my program, I speak directly to the youngsters, and I tell them have all the kids one place. So I lived it. Now, when it comes to extended family and stuff like that, I try to I respect all of my kids' mother. I show them respect and manners. No disrespect to them. All of my kids, I try to gather them. All of my kids, they know each other. They can call each other together one place. They know each other. No, I don't have no riff and no rough going on with my kids and the mothers and stuff like that. Was it always like this, having a good relationship with the mothers? No. It takes time, and over time, they develop a good relationship. No kid wants to hear, your child do not want to hear you cursing out the mother in the car. You understand me? The child don't want to hear the mother cursing out the father in the car. On the phone, I'm talking about. You understand? You're on the phone cursing out daddy. All you're doing is hurting that child. That child love mom and that child love daddy, and you're planting a bad seed. You understand me? The child, I think both parents, even when they go to family court, you know that the judge wants both parents to indicate life. So when they have to get to do some substance abuse classes or something, I go to AA meeting so it could be qualified to get back a kid. And what they got to do? So both parents should be in the kid life. That's what is important. So I show all my baby mama respect, and I respect them. And I call them up often and tell them, thank you. You're doing a wonderful job. Even though I'm not there, I call them and say, thank you. I'm doing a wonderful job. Any one of my kids, I can call them anytime. I can go there. I can tell them to come. They're welcome. I have a very, very, very good relationship with all my baby mamas. And that's very important. And yes.
Excellent. All right. So you've been listening and watching Family Time on Love 101, produced by Family Life Ministries. Have you answered the question yet? We really want to know, as a father, what do you want to do or be most for your children? Tell us by WhatsApp, text, or voice notes. Make sure they're no longer than 30 seconds to 876-997-3125, or on our Love 101 Facebook page. You can post your feelings there, or call the studio lines at 876-968-8327 or 8328 to participate. We're also on Facebook and YouTube Live, and we want to hear from you. When we come back, Carlos and Simon will still be here. Stay tuned.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Hey, psst, come closer. I want to tell you my secret. My son wears his favorite shirt for everything, and no matter how much he runs, jumps, and plays, it always looks like new and smells really good. My secret? I use Suavitel Superior Care. Keeps my family's clothes as good as new. Suavitel, as soft as a mother's love.
The world is full of job opportunities locally and overseas. Let us bring them to you. Register now at Distinction College located at 26 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 6 Nugent Street, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios. In 2 to 3 months, earn local and international certificates in housekeeping, food and beverage, food preparation, receptionist, and customer service. Qualified to work in hotels, cruise ships, restaurants, and businesses worldwide. No subjects required, no age limits, no entrance test. Day, evening, and Saturday classes begin very soon at low school fees. Easy and flexible payment plans. Call us 356-4167.
Bring the family back. Bring the Daddy had a real big man myself. You love so hard, with arms wide open. You are my rock, you are my mountain. Your sacrifices go unseen. You're such a beautiful human being. You're the gift that keeps on giving. You're my father. You're my father. that look in her eyes when you walked in the room. She loves you just as much as she did on your honeymoon. The sacrifices that you made, you tried to hide but couldn't conceal. That your love and protection is all we could feel. You love so hard, with arms wide open. You were my rock, you are my mountain. Your sacrifices go unseen. You're such a beautiful human being. You're the gift that keeps on giving. You're my father. You're my father. You are a comforting presence when everything seems so dark. You were the voice in the crowd whenever I needed a spark. I know the pressure to provide kept you up many a night. Daddy, your favorite words, no worry yourself, cause every little thing is gonna be alright. You love hard, with arms wide open. You are my rock, you are my mountain.
Well, all right. Daddy, you are my rock. You are my father. What a beautiful song by Wayne Marshall. Welcome back. It is now 6:04 and you're tuned in to Love 101. This is Family Time brought to you by Family Life Ministries, FLM. FLM provides counseling for people with all kinds of challenges from all walks of life. Listen out for our numbers in Kingston and Portmore at the end of the program. And remember, we're on Facebook and YouTube Live, so tune into the program via the Love 101 Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Simon Azan and Carlos Gray are our guests today, and the topic today is fathering. Now, gentlemen, I want to talk to you about some real stories in your life now, right? I want you to give me some problems and solutions. Talk to me, Simon, about disciplining.
Okay. I'm one of them old-time Jamaican biblical-based disciplinarians, right? My mother and father didn't.
Hold on, you're muted. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you.
Oh, we get unmuted.
Last
now.
thing I heard was old-time Jamaican. I don't think it's there. You want to stop.
You can hear me now?
No, I'm not hearing you now.
Well,
okay.
how about now?
Yes. Good.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was saying that that is one principle that didn't leave me as I was growing up. You know, life is like pushing a cart through a supermarket. You have the choice of picking up what you want, pick up and put it into the basket. You understand? And one of the things that I kept in my basket was that biblical principle about not sparing the rod. Right? Now, there's a fine line between beating your child arbitrarily and instilling discipline. Right. All discipline don't have to end up with a beating, or a spanking. But there are some times, as my son will tell you, that it warrant the rod of correction, just to make sure you drive out any little residual spirits that might decide to take up residence in here. Usually a little beating can help with a healthy reminder that you don't go down that road again. But discipline can take, I believe in it. We left here in 2007 to go to the mission field, if you will. So we were doing God's work for 7 years. Came back in 2014, and we were living in the US. My kids left as Jamaicans and came back as Jamaicans. Understand? Didn't get no disrespect to any Americans that might be listening, but they have a different sort of lifestyle as it relates to discipline. I remember one time one of the children said to me, Do you know that American kids can call 911, if we're getting a beating? I remember one of the children going to school, and the teacher actually tried to find out if he was being spanked at home. That sort of thing. I'm proud to say that they came back with understanding that there are times in life when one will have done something that you deserve to be disciplined. Even if that the discipline can take different forms. It can take the removal of a toy. It can take the removal of a privilege. It can also result in a spanking. So there are different forms of discipline, and I am by nature a disciplinarian.
Okay, got you. So, all right, Carlos, you've been there, you've done that. Rough life, come up, you know how the thing go. You know you want to guide your children so they don't follow in your footsteps. How do you deal with disciplining, even though you're distant, you're fathering from a distance? How you deal with disciplining?
Well, even though I'm from father and from a distance, I still see my kids regular though. My Lexi and Carlos is my 10 and 11-year-old, the two youngest I have. The others are bigger kids, I have our grandkids. My oldest daughter is 30 years old. And so we have bigger kids too. But the young one that I have here, I don't lick them, When I lick Carlos and Lexi, guess what I do? I talk to them rough, I get on my voice, scare them, And they don't like to hear daddy talk, and they will even cry when we talk rough at them and stuff like that. That is my strategy. When they were younger, they start misbehave and stuff. I'll hold them in them shirt right here, them blouse. I'll pull them close to me, and I'll get up in their face, and I'll talk with them. Because I realize if I talk with them, they will get to, and this is my way of dealing with them. I'm going to tell you the truth. Mm-hmm. Now, I pull them up and ask them, why did you do that? Why did you do that? I put them right up in their face. Why did you do that? Did you know that you could hurt your brother? And yes, daddy, no, and don't do that again. Hear me? Instead of you beat them because when I used to get beaten when I was growing up, Sometimes I get beaten, I don't know I'm get beaten fast. Because the everyone say, daddy. And then she don't get a word out and explain to you, mama, why are you? Let me explain. Me not say beaten body now. So me can tell her how beaten curve me too. Me have a story like that. But we don't tell her how me deal with my kids. We pull them up and we tell them, so don't do that, and let them understand why are we here? Why are we at this junction right here? And do you understand me? Yes, do you understand me? And I always say, what did I just say to you? Don't throw rocks again. Okay? You hear me? Yes, don't let me. Yes, daddy, high five. And I give them a high five after that. And they feel good and they walk off and they don't want to be on daddy's bad side because they already make an agreement and sign it with a high five. So don't let go back down that road again. So that's how we kind of deal with my kids then. But let me tell you one thing quickly, how whooping changed me. When I was 5 years old, I lived about Whiteton Park Road. So we have to give this a little quick part here. But we used to go Whiteton Park Road, me and my brother. Stole buckle from under the man fence, right? Under the man fence, go on a little three-wheel bike party on the road, sell fudge. And we can swap the buckle for fudge. So we teeth the buckle from under the fence. 5 years old, I don't really teeth, because we don't know what we're doing. We just take out the buckle from under there, not knowing that buckle like a rackle, with a steal from the bottom, right? So we go there and buy the ice cream where the man is neighbor. So with the man seeing battle, the man probably come and get and see his battle going the way to the ice cream, think about the ice cream. We don't know where we were kids. So when we came home, the man name was Moby, we live at Stephen Lane and Walter Park Road. I'll never forget. Then we came home that evening, my mama, he told my mom that evening, and me I tell her, say, the whooping we get, up to this day, me not teeth nothing for nobody. I swear to God. You know what? Up to this.
It changes skin, man.
Whooping I'm telling you, she barely too young. Thank God for the whooping for me, my brother. Not it again, man. Nobody can call it teeth till this day. So whooping really helped me. But this day and age is a different day, my brother. It's a different time than here in America, like my brother here say. It's a total different basket of fish.
we have a statement from one of our listeners. And they're saying, good job you're doing. You're going to teach the children the right way and grow up with God and God's love and grace. So, gentlemen, you're doing a great job. Now, both of you are active dads. How do you deal with work, life, and children balance?
Wow.
Tell me, Simon.
Well, all my life, one of the things that the children will be able to tell you. I grew up in a business family, so when I tell you that I was working on weekends and things like that before I was 10. You understand? By the time I was 10, 11, me could have carry 100-pound bag of orange up on a hillside. You understand? Grew up on a farm, grew up in a supermarket, grew up plant orange, plant coconut, more land. When we talk about land, it's all 2-acre land with a push mower that never have the engine on it. Understand? So then weekend time, we out flour, we out sugar. When it come holiday time, none of this just taking holiday and go off and swim in a pool and beach. Like you don't believe, it's work.
Right.
You understand? So that was the type of culture that I grew up in. And just refresh me on the question.
So the question is, how do you balance work, life, and children?
Right. So the children, for the most part, growing up, I was involved in hotel management. And hotel management, basically, it's a 16-hour day, 7-day a week type of operation. When you manage a hotel, especially when you manage a hotel like Sandals, where I was for 14 years abroad in St. Lucia and those places, something I have to give. Something I have to give. So admittedly, I will say that for the most part during my hotel management experience, my life was severely imbalanced. Severely imbalanced. Thank God, God created an opportunity for me in 2007 while, the children were still fairly young, for me to go abroad. And I was not involved in hotel management anymore. And therefore, I was able to spend 7 good years, 7 solid years, sort of repatching the foundation. And realistically, what that did for me was it saved a part of my life and a part of my relationship with the children, which if I had continued in hotel management, I would never have been able to recover those years. Because when those years, foundational years, when the children, before they reach a certain age, once those years have passed, you'll never recover them. So I believe, and now, I try and make it a conscious focus, even though 3 out of the 4 of them are adults right now. Right? One live abroad, I have a grandchild as well, same like.
Look like we might have lost Simon there for a second. All right, Carlos, talk to me now.
That I'm present in their life as much as possible.
Okay, Simon. Good things. I love it. That's a perfect example. Carlos, tell me, how do you balance the thing? Work, life, children.
Me try my best, We try to be that good father. We try to be in them kids' life, and I think nothing is more important than your family. Nothing is more important than a family. I can tell you that for once, because I'm an honest guy, and in my program, I'm open book to my people, and I be honest to them. I tell them the honest truth, so people can learn. One can hear from my story. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't be like Carlos used to be in my young days. I'm behaving myself now because I learned where the holes are. I don't want to fall them feet again. So I try my best, and with a little that I learned back then, and I grew up and have more knowledge that I know wrong from right. So the best thing I try to be as best as possible. Spend more time with my kids in life, and my daughter, my son, like I said, the 2 youngest ones, they be around me because they're the youngest, and I spend more time with them. The older one are out there. So, and I would encourage anybody out there, do not make nothing else out there be important as your family that you have at home. You know, each one of my baby mama that me and him break up left. I could marry any one of them and be with any one of them today. I could remarry who I was married to and I could be with them right now if it was for me. I was the problem. I'm an honest guy. I'm the problem. So most household, we men are the problem. We men right here. We don't say women are the problem, but most relationships will say go south. If any man should be honest with you, we are the problem. So it come back to just be in your family life. Just make no job, no friend, no amount of drinking, no amount of club. I never used to go to club. But my problem was other women. That's my downfall. Other women. I learn my lessons. That's why my kids cannot be like me. Me don't want none of that for my kids then. That's wrong. You know what I mean? So I try my best, my brother. You know, family first.
you know what I'm hearing from both of you, and it's such a wonderful thing to hear of how you are actively being positive role models in your children's lives. And Simon, you were saying that you try to live it through action rather than just trying to say, read the golden rule and whatever, but you actually do it through action. And Carlos, same thing. You said you've been there, you've done that, and you can tell your children, don't do what me they do. You have to do different than what me they do.
Yeah.
Is it a conscious effort that you're making to live this positive role model, or is it just something that is just rolling off and just being natural because this is how you want to be?
Well, we're gonna go, Simon.
Simon, I want to hear from Simon first.
No, everything in life, I believe have to be intentional and purposeful,
Okay.
I sometimes very often keep a notepad very, very close and a pen, because every now and then I have to rewrite. I'm always redefining myself. Right? And if I find that maybe over the last 2 weeks or so, I may have created an imbalance, I write myself another schedule, and I rearrange my priorities and say, okay, here we are now. This week coming up, I have a little more time for homework. So we're gonna deal with a little bit more homework. Or we're going to go through the maths book and we're going to see where the gaps are and where we can plug the gaps. Very often, 10 o'clock at night, catch myself and my preteen in here going over this PEP curriculum, which is new to me. It has created almost like me going back to school. The necessity is, what I was getting at though, is that it is intentional and purposeful. Right now, I teach self-defense. And one of the things I do is I have my children are I have a gym set up in the garage. Every evening, I can send you video after video. They're out there and we are all working out. We make time to work out because I believe in the balance of spiritual, emotional, physical, right? And we try to balance those things. And if it's even spending an hour together working out, at least during that time, a conversation might come up that you wouldn't normally hear, because the tendency can be sometimes for everybody to retreat to them room, and then hours can pass and you don't see them. You know what I mean? And this is where the danger is, especially where the younger ones are concerned, is that technology sometimes can take the place of parenting. And them can end up spending more time on the cell phone, doing all different kind of TikTok and all different kind of things on the internet. And you have to be aware of what it is that they're up to and try and balance that as well. You want to keep them relevant, you want to keep them up to date with the times and whatever, but you have to be there to kind of guide the content. As I say, especially where the youngest ones are, the younger ones are concerned, and don't run the risk of media taking over parenting.
Right. Got you. So, all right,
That
Carlos,
is so
tell
true.
me, how are
Yes,
you?
sir.
Active role model thinking about it, or is it just natural?
No, man. I'm active. I'm active. I'm active, and it's like I'm beat up, man. When I get beat up so much, man, you know, it's jumping at the pit, the bottom of the pit. There's nowhere to go but up. You know what I'm saying? There's no more to go but up. I'm 50 years old, man. I know, man. Look, I'll be young. I'm 50 years old. I'm behaving myself. You know,
Right.
that's why sometimes I say older man than me, with the gray beard than me, I do some bad things. I say, what the old man that is? But I mean, I'm 50, with that older man than me, I said I'm a player. I say, come on, man, tell me something better. It's that Carlos. You understand
Mm,
me? So we try to tell the youth them, you know, no be like Carlos. Me no want him to be like oh me and my friend and my others. Not only me alone, my brother. Remember, it's our culture thing, you know. Remember, I've seen my brethren them do the same thing. Me see the men them above me, the man them to the right, the man them to the left. These are some things like a disease, you know, my brother. It catch on like a virus. It's what we see around me. So me, in my space and my little influence on social media, we try to tell the youth them the mistake I make. Just like I'm tell you guys, I'm not ashamed, I'm not afraid to tell nobody, you know, the mistake I make. I'm not afraid to tell you I'm sorry, man, I messed up. You know what I mean? So I make mistakes. So I don't want the youth them to see. I never have nobody to tell me these things. Although all me here is old dog like me, chill a load of girl and girl na bungle. How is that gonna benefit me later down the road? That's not gonna work, family. So these little youth nowadays must understand that have your kids one place. And when we say have your kids one place, we mean it. If you have one banana, that one banana is going to one home. Instead of you have 10 different baby mama, you have to share that one banana. Some of the kids going to be deficient because the banana going to be swindled down. But if you have that one banana going to one home, the banana probably can share and left some breakfast for tomorrow. Have your kids one place. It's only going to hurt you and make you poorer. If you think you are rich right now, you'll be richer if you only have one baby mama with one set of kids. Learn that. Don't be like me and others.
right.
You know, I really talk me, I tell you.
Oh, you mean, man, a real talk you talk about, man. It's real interesting stuff. Now, Keith wanted to know from online, how about devotionals? How do you keep Christ in the picture? Keith Spence wanted to know about family devotions. Tell me about it. We must represent, display, and constantly present God to our families. So tell me how you do it, Simon.
Well, I know Keith very well. I actually
Okay.
know Keith. Um, you know, when you reach a certain age, you kind of in that category where you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. And
True.
that is why the Bible clearly states that you must train up a child in the way he should go, that when he is an adult or when he is older, he will not depart from it. It doesn't say that he or she is going to constantly be on the straight and narrow. Understand? Or they're not going to be able to make choices for themselves. So I have devotional, and unfortunately, my 12-year-old don't really have a choice right now when that devotional going to take place. She knows that she have to be there. She knows that Sunday, if we don't go to a church, she going to an online church somewhere, right? Or if not, right in here, so in the room here, so I may be delivering a message to a church like I did last night on Saturday night, and she going to be part-time. The other ones, they have their choice, and I'm not into the tying down and waterboarding type of implementation. If they want to participate, they know where to find me,
Got
and
it.
you know.
Got it.
So that is I can only control the actions of the youngest one for now. You
Okay.
know, I'm blessed the amount of time you have, because from it reach 12, 13, it's a sprint after that. They
I
just
keep
grow up.
hearing about that. I keep
They
hearing
just
about
grow
that
up
sprint.
overnight. They
Yeah,
just grow
man.
up overnight. Overnight, all of a sudden, you're in the presence of an adult and you don't even realize.
So, Carlos, how about you as far as devotionals are concerned? Quick answer.
Well, well, My kids, I'm not a Christian man as such, but I'm a godly man. I put God first, but when I go to church, every time the church door open, I used to do that, so me not too dark when it comes to God stuff. What I instill in my kids, I tell them about God. I tell them about God, tell them how to do the right thing. I be kind to people, have empathy. My kids are very kind. All my kids are very kind people. They're very nice and gentle people. That's what I teach them. Just be a good human being. Do good and good shall follow you all the days of your life. You understand me? And God is first. You understand me? Even though I'm not a pastor, but God is big in my life and my kids' life. Even the big one, even big daughter, my oldest daughter, 30. She's a good, nice, kind person.
Nice.
Stay away to the smallest one, Lexi. Very kind.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're here again at the end of the show. The show goes so fast, you don't know this time is going. But well, thanks for being here with us. If you still have personal questions of your own, call us at Family Life Ministries. Our center in Portmore is at 117 Cecile Avenue. Call 876-939-7917. And our other counselors across the island, for them, contact our head office at 876-920-1034 or 876-926-8101, and we'll connect you. Remember, listeners, if you or someone you know would like counseling on dealing with any issues in family, relationships, or just everyday life, please contact a Family Life Ministries counselor. Now, note that appointments can only be made by calling the office. To keep up to date with what's happening with FLM and our programs, find us on Facebook at FLM Family Life Ministries, on Instagram at FLMJA, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Family Life Ministries. I want to thank the gentlemen for coming and spending their time with us and telling us just from their hearts how they manage being wonderful fathers. So, Carlos Gray, Simon Azan, thank you so much for spending the time with us and being wonderful examples. I'm Charles Hyatt, and join us again next week at 5:30 on Love 101 FM at Facebook and YouTube Live via our Love 101 Facebook and YouTube pages, and for all other information about our program. Thanks again to our special guests, Carlos Gray and Simon Azan, and thanks to our show producer, Kathy Gale. Also, our studio engineer, Neeson Williams, and Open Door Communications, studio facilitator, and of course, you. Stay well, stay safe, and stay blessed.
She loves you just as much as she did on your honeymoon. The sacrifices that you made, you tried to hide but